In the past few decades, we've been getting electric everything. Electric bikes, electric lawnmowers, electric stoves, and now electric cars as well. And it's no surprise either. Electricity is a renewable resource that's cheap, efficient, and easy to transport, which makes it very easy to apply. Because of this, everything that required fuel before is now getting replaced with its electrical equivalent in almost every environment. Except airplanes, that is. Airplanes seem to be taking their sweet time switching to electric power, and while we've been hearing a lot about electric cars being the future and seeing them on the road, air travel sees pretty much zero discussion about making the jump. So why is it like this? The simple answer is batteries are very heavy. In fact, if we take a kilogram of the fuel that most planes use today, it's called Jet A, and a kilogram of the most advanced batteries that are viable right now, the jet fuel provides 57 times the energy, which is approximately the same as a lot more. Now, burning fuel is inefficient, and we lose about half of the available energy doing it. But even at that point, jet fuel is simply much more viable for airplanes, when we consider that carrying liquid fuel will make the tanks 29 times lighter to start, and even lighter after most of the fuel is burned off during the trip. Weight is extremely important when attempting to make something fly, and the more of it that is present on an airplane, the more the airplane has to pitch up, which in turn makes it run into more air resistance, we call that drag, and have to use more energy to keep going. It's really kind of a self-reinforcing problem, where the more weight you have, the more drag you encounter, meaning you need more energy to overcome it, which requires more batteries and, you guessed it, more weight. These weight issues have been holding up the development of electric aircraft for a while now, and have only recently been overcome in cars, even though electric cars are still pretty heavy and have the most modest driving distances before needing a recharge. But of course, the batteries aren't the best they can ever be. Researchers are constantly working on making better and more weight-efficient batteries to put on the market, and it's only a matter of time before we get the same amount of energy per kilogram as Jet A, right? Well, not really. Scientists and engineers can make some pretty incredible inventions, that's true, but they can't break the laws of physics when they're doing it. And there's actually a physical limit to how good batteries can get with the materials that currently exist. Different chemical combinations give different battery capacities per kilogram, and making a battery work from the best combinations gives it a maximum capacity of only about 10.8 megajoules per kilogram, which is way more than what is currently possible, but still about a quarter of what jet fuel has, and that is assuming that we can actually learn to make a battery like that. This is clearly not enough to allow batteries to replace jet fuel, and it could be said that electric flight will never happen if not for the one last factor. As batteries are slowly getting lighter, airplanes are becoming more and more efficient. Engineers are modifying them to slice through the air much better and require less power to remain in flight. The International Air Transport Association and other aerospace overseeing organizations have a set of goals to increase aircraft efficiency by the year 2100, and if everything goes right and the researchers and designers are successful, we may just get an airframe efficient enough to carry heavy batteries without requiring more energy than they can provide. It is, of course, a long shot. Many things have to fall into place. The aerodynamicists have to find a way to make airplanes glide without much drag, the material scientists need to make the airplanes light enough to compensate for heavy batteries, and the chemists need to develop insanely weight-efficient batteries at least 10 megajoules per kilogram for fully electric flight to even be an option. And even before that, we need the right minds and wallets and legislators to come together in a joint effort with a common goal. But it can happen, and we've seen some very improbable things happen in the course of our history. So what are we to think? Are we going to be flying electric airplanes in the future? Maybe yes, but not very soon, which is why there's very little discussion going on about the prospect. But who knows? Scientific progress isn't always predictable, and unless we do absolutely nothing, there's always a chance that electric airplanes will become the norm sooner than later.